Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Cheap Seats. It is your Premier League show where we talk all things of Premier League, and it's called Cheap Seats largely because the cheap seats are there at the top, and those people at the top have the most amount of opinions. So today's show is the same. We'll be returning to regular programming in the coming weeks, but we thought let's have a date night drip edition as most teams have their kits announced. Chelsea doesn't have an away kit announced, so that's really weird, but we'll talk about that as we go along. Remember, this show is sponsored by Classic Shirts ZA, so please do go and check them out. Go and have a look. We'll put out the discount code. It's on pretty much every slide we have, so we'll do that. So yeah, we've got Tala back. Tala, how are you doing?
All good. Thanks for inviting me to my favorite part of the year, which is, a part where usually I have to talk up Arsenal and talk down other clubs. But I think this time, actually, I can be comfortable that the on-field product doesn't have to compensate, or the off-field product doesn't have to compensate for the on-field product.
Yes, most definitely. You can also check out Tala on Rugby Bits podcast. It's one of the coolest rugby podcasts you can listen to if you're a South African rugby fan. I was laughing last week, Tala. Oh my word! Oh, we've taken four scrummers to the World Cup.
I'm still not sure what we like. I think we just all got like so annoyed and frustrated that it just was all coming out, unfortunately.
Yeah. No, I like the fact that you guys think Jacques Nienaber has that Rassi master plan thinking to him. But anyway, we're talking soccer. We've got Teppo back. Teppo was traveling around the world. Now he's back. What is it? Ultimate Frisbee. How was
World
that?
Under 24. It was probably one of the best experiences of my life, not gonna lie. Just the experience of getting there. I had to crowdfund, and that was pretty special. Just seeing that like people are out there believing in dreams. So that was the whole experience. Being there was incredible as well. Got to do some commentary. So special time.
Yeah. You said believing in dreams, and you're wearing the shirt that's of the team that's going to be believing in dreams.
Dreamers.
So
remember, boys, never forget.
You're starting to sound like Manchester United. And we've got the man behind Classic Shirt ZA. His name on Twitter is The Real Joey, but he actually is Yusuf. He's wearing a Real Madrid shirt, that's new one, which is, it looks amazing. But we'll do a date night drip edition for that. But how are you doing, Yusuf?
I'm doing good. More excited about these shirts than the Springboks away shirt that I heard Tala and them discussing last week on their podcast in detail. I'm excited about this.
I'm Team Aqua. I am Team Aqua. Even the shorts, give it to me. Bring it.
I think John Smith will have a fight with you about that.
He can come. Actually, I beat him in a quiz the one time. And he was a little sour, but I actually won his signed shirt from 2007 World Cup. Still have to collect it from Tyron, but I'll do that later. Okay. Date Night Drip Premier League edition. That's what we're here. We've got our guys. We're going to be talking about who's looking good, who's not looking good, who's going to look good on away days, who's going to look good. Okay, we don't have Stoke anymore, but it's a cold winter night in Luton in someone's apartment. Luton fans, we don't have your kit here, please. Like, guys, I looked at that and I was like, nah, fam. It's your first season in the Premier League and you give us this. But anyway, we'll talk about that. So let's start with the top. The champions from last year. They looking like more moving into their fashion club era now. This is Manchester City's kit. I look at this and I'm like, they're not winning again. They're not winning a trophy again. Look at that away kit. Yusuf, when you look at these kits, you're like, nah, man, Man City can't win looking this good.
You know what? My favorite one is the third kit. I think it just works so well with it. lightning electricity design on it. It's fresh, it's new. And Man City's white kits have always been great. If you remember 2 seasons ago, they had the rainbow design on it.
Oh,
That was very
yes.
cool. And I like the collar. I think they
Hmm.
copied it from United last season, but noisy neighbors.
Okay. Okay. Tala, when you look at these, what do you think of Manchester City? Is this fashion club type of vibe?
No, it's giving fashion club. I mean, look, Puma has, I think, obviously the Arsenal Puma era, I think, is much maligned, but I think it's maligned for little reason, because I thought, when Puma was supplying Arsenal, the kits were quite good most of the time. There were just a few shockers there. And I think they continue with that here as well. Look, I'm not the biggest fan of the away kit.
Mm.
We'll talk about the United third kit as well. I think there's a difference between, okay, let's just make it white and then just sort of stick a collar on it,
Yeah.
and like making a nice, good quality white kit. And I think it didn't quite hit the marks there. Third kit was brilliant. I think that might be one of the kits of the season, at least in the top 6 clubs. I would say. And then the home kit, I don't like the vertical sort of like the panels there. On Friday when they were playing the match against Burnley, I was just like, this it doesn't. Or actually, no, they were playing. I think it was in the Community Shield. They played with that kit, and
Against
it just
us, yeah.
didn't. Yeah, it didn't. It looked a bit cheap, to be honest. I mean, so I think it's the third kit that's the star of the show here. But look, City's really moving into their fashion era, which is annoying because they obviously got everything else right now. But yeah,
Literally.
I think they're leading the league here.
Look, Gary Neville picked Arsenal to win the league, so I look at this kit and I'm like, maybe he might be onto something because they look good. They look really good. So Tsepo, what's your number for the home kit, the away kit, and that third kit? Out of 10, what are you rating?
So I really felt that all 3 kits together as an ensemble are pretty nice. I like that. You get that cream in the middle that looks like a proper date night drip, something that your girlfriend wouldn't mind you wearing when you're going out. And then the third kit, if you want to look dangerous, dangerous. This guy's coming with ta. Yeah, then you smack that guy. So
it's an Erling Haaland kit to me. That's how
exactly.
I see it.
Exactly. And I'm not sure you saw that preseason game when they were in Japan, when they had like those Asian characters. It looked pretty good. But yes, the numbers for the first kit. I'm a personal fan of vertical stripes. I do like patterns. I like textures. So I'm going to give it like a comfortable 7, closer like a flat out 7. When it comes to number 2, one that your girlfriend can appreciate, that cream, that beige, looks like a Sunday morning. I'll give that a 7.5, closer to an 8 than a 7.5, but around that region. And then the final one, that is looking hot. That is looking dangerous. 8 on that bad boy. If you really want to feel like Erling Haaland, unstoppable, every touch is a goal. Yeah, that's lightning in a bottle.
Tala, what are your numbers?
Yeah, I can't fight Tsepo too much with those numbers. Let's give the third kit maybe something close to a 9. Away kit 7. Home kit 6. Or even 5.5. Let's say 6.
Yeah, I can wear that third kit to a club. That I can club with.
Yeah, no, look, I think the away kit obviously is nice and versatile. You can wear it in a much more formal place, a little bit informal as well. Like you said, the third kit, that's for your big night out. So I think that's going to be leading the race there. And I think you have a lot of versatility with that as well. So look, if you're a City fan or you don't really care and you just want to buy jerseys, I think you can your collection can start with the away in the third kit for sure.
Yusuf, what are your numbers?
I can't argue with the guys. I think the third kit is a solid 8. The home kit I'm not such a fan of, so 6.5 in between the two guys, and I agree 7 on the away kit.
You guys are. I'm a fan of the cream. I think the cream is like an 8.5. That black kit is 9. If I was a City fan, I'd be buying both. But yeah, I'm not. and I'd wear them everywhere. And then the home kit, I think, is pretty cool. I look, it feels simple. Obviously, those stripes, those are whatever you call them, vertical things. So I'll give it a bit of a 7. Okay, let's move on to the team that bottled it. And yeah, the kits look like they come from a bottling plant. So I want to put this up here. We're remembering the team of 2003 in the home kit. They are then moved on to giving us a map of North London in the away kit that looks like it's vomit. And then the third kit, yet to be released. This is what it looks like. I think it looks okay. I'm here. Home kit is the one that looks great for me. I think that's a solid 7, maybe even an 8. The away kit is a 5. And the third kit, I think, could move up to a 7 once you see it on someone's body. But Tala, does this tell you we're winning the league? Because I look at it, I'm like, yeah, no, definitely. The league
Look,
is ours.
if the relationship between bad kit and good team, yeah, we're gonna be as close as we can be this season, because yeah, I mean, we had obviously that great record with our black kit last season, which was amazing, and I think it just intimidated other teams because you look so good and you're being passed around by our front four.
Saliba
This kit
scoring
will,
worldies.
yeah, this away kit this year, I mean, it will, I guess, intimidate teams in another way of just confusing them as to, where are these lines leading to and why. And I think the worst thing about the away kit is Adidas keeping the 3 stripes at the top. Like, if there's one kit to not do the 3 stripes at the top, is this one, so you can continue the lines and everything about Islington. Look, cool. I mean, I get the message. I think it's nice. It still looks like a training kit, so that's definitely a 4. Third kit has potential. I mean, some of the leaked photos that has been seen, I think it's gonna be good. I think it's an average like type of 7. Our dark melanated brothers will look fantastic in this kit, so I think it will definitely accentuate the features there as well. No, Bukayo's he's gonna have to be front and center for the marketing this one for sure. The home kit is really nice. Not special. I mean, yeah, we've been blessed, I think, in the last few years with Adidas. This one is, yeah, obviously with the Invincibles theme as well. And up close and personal, it's actually, I think it looks even better. So, 8 out of 10, you look classy, you look regal. The gold on top means that you're not going to be kicked out of like a fancy restaurant in Cape Town. You're not going to be kicked out of like that steakhouse in Joburg. You can take this anywhere. So yeah, I'd say 8 for the home, 4 for the away, and 7 for the third kit.
Yusuf, Manchester United had that Mountain Dew kit. This is now, I don't know.
You drew inspiration from it, didn't you?
From Mountain Dew, and then we added black lines. How do you rate these kits?
I'm actually a fan of the away kit. I like it. I've seen it on TV the other day, and I was like, "Oh, that looks cool." So I think it's okay. The home kit though, you guys really messed up. Your record was meant to be on the stripe on the side, and they skipped out 6 games or something like that.
Wow.
So it was released and then recalled, and we have some of them that are part of the recall batch at the moment, only available. So yeah, that's interesting. And I thought the goal was meant to be when you guys pick up the league finally. But that didn't happen. Such a shame.
There's a team with a gold Premier League, and it's us. You can have as many Premier Leagues as you want, but there's a gold trophy. That's what Alex always wanted. But yeah, Yusuf, what's your rating here?
Okay, so home kit, I like it. I think 7. Away kit 6, and third kit I find a bit bland, so 6.
Okay, Tep, what do you think? The away kit is for like an Emiratia, walk in the park type of vibes, right?
The away kits, the Mountain Dew kit.
Yes.
I thought it was pretty jarring, but not in a bad way. In like a training, it's a training shirt, as Tala said. But I was always a fan of training shirts. I was always like, hey, bro, why aren't we wearing those shirts? Why are we wearing these boring shirts So me, big fan of number 2, the away kit. I like that it's trying to make a statement and saying, we don't care what you think. We're gonna look like tigers that like are tripping on some weird drugs. So yes, I like that. I like that big statement, trying to like push the boundaries. So yes, I like that. I'm gonna give it a 7.5. Home kit looks classy. I like the gold. It looks like you guys are really saying, you guys are making a statement. We're champions, champion quality. Gold
Gold
standards. I
standard.
like that. So I'll
I
give
like
that a comfortable 7. And then that last one, trash, absolute trash. It looks like a sad Squidward. Not for me. No. Sitting comfortably at like a 6, and that's because I think I'm a nice guy.
So all you're saying is that our fashion club era has ended. We're a football club now.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
There we go. That's from a Chelsea fan. But for me, that home kit, yeah, an 8. Away kit, I'll give actually, it's a 5. Like you can't. Do you know what would have been great for the away kit? You've got Tala the Jamaica influenced kit, the training kit for that. That if they found a way to make that into a playing kit, that would have been fire.
I'm waiting for that day. Oh, that Jamaican / ANC rally kit is amazing. Yeah, I was literally in London when I saw it. I was in the Arsenal store, and I think it came out like that day or the day before.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm poorer now, but I'm richer inside, which is all that matters.
That's all that matters. Yeah.
Richer in drip, baby.
So that's Arsenal. Richer in drip. So a team that's now richer in drip is the team that finished 3rd, Yusuf's team. I look at this and I'm like, Manchester United. That white kit. It's a season for white, and I was like, why are they trying to become like West Ham? Because West Ham also have a white kit, and we'll talk about it later. But I was like, that's a nice one. I can live with that. So Yusuf, my rating for these kits, right, is home kit. I like the detail on it. I think is a 7 or between, I think 7.5. I like the collar as well. That away kit, I don't know what's going on there. I honestly do not know where the inspiration comes from. And the team viewer doesn't work. So that's a 4 for me. And then that away kit, I've seen better, but I'll give you a 7. Do you agree with me?
I don't agree with you. I think that home kit is the best in the league currently.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, tell me a home kit that's nicer than it.
And home kits that's better than this.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe Spurs or Chelsea. Chelsea's kit looks better than this. They don't have a sponsor, but
No.
I put Chelsea up there.
No, Chelsea's kit looks plain. And it has like different. Yeah, when we get there, we'll chat about it. It has different. Yeah.
Yusuf, can I say very quickly, your kits would be perfect if it wasn't for that sponsor. I think the sponsor is literally taking away at least a point from the rating because it's just so. Yeah, it's so there. It's like we have to see that it's a team viewer
must it
kit.
be so big?
Yeah,
because they pay so much money for it, and most viewed clubs. That's
Why
why
don't you just use the team viewer logo? Those little arrows.
I
That'll
agree
work.
with you completely, but I guess people don't know what the logo means. The way kit is actually drawn inspiration from our very, very old kits in the early 1900s. But I really like the 3rd kit with just the devil and instead of the whole logo, something that Arsenal did first last year, and we've latched onto that.
Yeah. So my only thing with the away kit is that it looks better in a long sleeve, not a short sleeve, and that's just horrible. Yeah. But yeah. So Yusuf, what's your rating?
9 for the home, 7 for the away, and 9 for the 3rd kit.
Okay. 7 away, 9 3rd kit, 9 at home. Okay. Seppo, do you agree? What do you
No.
think?
Yusuf, you provide us with great shirts, but my goodness, 7 for bananas and pajamas. Not a chance. Not a chance. What is this? Is pajamas, and not even nice pajamas. The ones that like you ask your dad not to buy, but your dad just insists on buying these bananas in pajamas. Bananas. Three.
What's your number, Tipple?
Disgusting. Three for that one.
Did
For
you see
number.
Okay.
Rashford in that long sleeve one in the
Oh.
preseason game?
He looks
Very
like he's
classy.
going to bed. Come on, long sleeves. It's winter.
They're gonna put
Go
us
to
to
bed.
sleep. That's all it is.
Nay, bars. Maybe it's a prophecy. Did you watch them against Wolves? Okay, sorry, date night trip. But yes, when it comes to the third kit, you know, it might grow on me. At this current moment, I'm like, it looks like nothing. It looks like you just got a shirt from Mr. Price Sports and got a few prints there. But the closer I look, the more I'm like, oh, I actually see, because you can see in the collar the little poppy detail that's sort of reflected in the home kit, which we'll get to just now. The minimal Adidas look, like with my Adidas shirts, it still says
Yes.
Adidas, but this new era Adidas is just like, the stripes. Let's go with that. And I think I agree with you guys. If it was just minimal all around, and it just even had that team viewer with the arrows, it would have gone even higher. But I'll say it's like a 6.5, closer to a 7. That's probably going to grow on me.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it comes to home kits, that's one place I actually agree with you, Yusuf. This kit slaps. I'm not sure how I feel about the seams that we're seeing these days with Nike and Adidas that sort of goes over the chest. I'm not really sure how I feel about that, but this is the only shirt that it sort of works with. It looks like the lines sort of match in a way. It doesn't look jarring. It looks pretty smooth, but there's still detail. So yes, I'm going to give that an 8, maybe even an 8.5, because it's the best one. So yes, that's why I'm sitting 8.5.
Tell us, where do you stand on these kits?
Yeah, look, let's start with the third kit. I mean, look, I think Tepo nailed it, but like, just one thing on the third kit is maybe if I can ask Yusuf, is it more white or cream? If it's cream, then I can see it working. If it's white, then yeah, that's where it becomes a bit plain.
So on the authentic jersey, it's like a off-white color. It's not pure
so it's
white
cream.
like last season's one. And then it has like the stripes that blend in on the shoulder, which looks quite cool. So it has like a different fabric and then the stripes in there. And then obviously at the back it has like the original United logo. So I think it makes it look a bit classy.
Okay.
Yeah. Look, I would, yeah. I mean, it's a strong 7.5, maybe not quite 8, but like obviously you can't go wrong with white, as Real Madrid has found out. Like it's nice and classy. It's the one time the team viewer thing isn't too offensive, and like you said, the logo and everything makes it really look nice. The home kit, Yusuf, yeah, you might. I mean, again, like I said, just that flippin' sponsors logo, but I think you might be onto something. I'm not too sure about the black collar with the black Adidas stripes on the shoulder. I think it's maybe a bit too much like black detail on the shirt. It kind of takes away from it a little bit, but I think it is near the top of the log for home kit. So let's give that an 8. The second, the away kit has almost caused marital divide in my household. So I bought that kit for my wife. She's a United fan. I don't know why I did that, but who knows? So I bought that kit and I was like, hey, I mean, you said you really love that kit, go for it. And she keeps like saying, like, why do you always look at it? And I'm like, I'm not sure if I like it or not. And I'm still not sure if I like it or not. Like it's been about a week or two, it's been in the house. And I keep looking at it and I'm like, sometimes I'm like, okay, no, this works. And then sometimes I'm like, Tsepo saying like, this is really bananas and pajamas. And I think it is, and we're talking about date night drip. I think it's better for date night drip and it's not good for the field. And maybe that's where I land on it as well. So yeah, A for effort for trying something different. No one's going to probably replicate this again. Let's give it an 8 out of 10. But yeah,
Look,
I'm sure
if
if
you're
you
gonna
wake
wear
me
it
up
with, like,
another day, it'll be worse.
If you want to wear it like stonewashed jeans, trying to take it back to the 80s, maybe with a little bit of a bell bottom there type of vibe, You know, it could work with even with the bucket hat. I think it should come with a bucket hat because then it looks like you're there. Okay, let's move on to a team that snuck into the Champions League. Thank you, Tepo. And they're working with Saudi money. So let's see what kits they're bringing. So Newcastle, Saudi money, home kit. You can't go wrong with the stripes. I think they're okay. The logo in itself, we're still getting used to. That away kit is a tribute to the founders, the masters, the benefactors of Newcastle's new rise. And then that away kit, it's okay. I think they saw what Manchester City was trying to bring, and they were like, okay, how can we do stripes in a Castore type of way? Home kit, I'll give it a bit of an 8. I think it's stated, it's classy. This kit probably would have worked even with like a golf collar, I think, probably. But the Newcastle stripes will always be the Newcastle stripes. That away kit in green, guys, I don't know. Maybe Newcastle's going to stay in the Champions League or they're going to win the Champions League. But yeah, ew. I'll give it a 6. Even the pattern's just weird. No, not 6, a 5. And then the away kit, the third kit I like. I think, yeah. Like the whole electricity vibe. So I'll give that a 7. A 7, yeah. I think that the blue kit should be the away kit, and that green kit should only be worn in case of emergency because ew. Tepo, these guys are your competitors, Newcastle. They're looking good on the field. They're beating teams by a lot of goals. What do you make of their selection of kits this year, and what's your number?
Stripes, you can't go wrong. Black and whites, I mean, classic. What else can you do with Newcastle? I like that these seams that I talk about that go around the chest are a little bit higher on Castore. It looks a little bit more natural. I like that. So, but I will say that the outside lines for the sponsors, if it like was a little bit more seamless into the shirt, I would. If
it
you
looks
can
like
see,
your
just
kid pasted it on.
yes, just because of those white lines on the outside. If it was all black, it would be like, oh, it's part of the shirt, But now you see, it's taking it down by like half a mark. So it would have been a 7.5, but now it's just a 7, just because of the sponsor. The green at first, I was like, it looks all right, but now just too many lines. But at least it's not that Chelsea nonsense. That remember when Lukaku came and there
I
were
remember
like
that
different
kit.
patterns. There were waves, there were squares, there were what's that nonsense. At least it's all lines. So I'll be like sharp. And on the plus side, when it's right next to the black and whites, the green actually with the sponsor, it works quite nice. So it would have been a 6, maybe now a 6.5 because of the aforementioned stuff. And then the top kit here to the far right. Come on, look at this thing. It looks good. I like this. It reminds me of that Manchester United black or navy blue and yellow that was going down. Looks pretty dangerous. The patterns, the shapes are quite nice. They'd really like define your body quite nicely, make you look suave on the field. So yes, I like that. I'm going to give it an 8.
An 8. Tala, Newcastle, they mean business this year. They're showing us the color of money in green. What are your numbers?
Look, I think actually I have high praise for the Newcastle set. I think this and the Nottingham Forest sets are the best, like home away third kit sets in the league this year. I think I kind of disagree with what Tepo said about the sponsor. I think the sponsor actually kind of works into the shirt for maybe not so much the away one, but for the home and the third one, it's a lot more integrated. And I'm happy that to change color. Like, yeah, I mean, you can look at the Springbok kit and they fight with MTN for the last like 6-7 years, and just having that big yellow thing in the middle in whatever your home or away kit is can be an issue. So I think they've adapted well with that. Yeah, you can't go wrong with the black and white home kit. We all know obviously how classical that is. The away kit, I think they did this concept perfectly. Yeah, something a bit out there. Obviously, yeah, we know the association with the color and what that means. I hear Newcastle's hosting Saudi Arabia national team for their matches this season as well.
Mm.
But what I love about the away kit is the collar and the sleeves, that black and white, perfect, absolutely perfect. Like I think it's one of those kits that you can really wear as something formal under a little like jacket on top of it, or
Mm.
something more, a lot more informal as well. So they've nailed that. And then the third kit, yeah, look, that color combination of that like darker sort of like blue and yellow, I think it really pops well. So they did well.
Mm.
Castori, they're trying to be a serious player in the sports kit market. I think they really did well. So let's say 7.5, 8, 9, home away third.
Okay. Progressively.
I think
Okay.
they, yeah, I think they literally have the best, or them and Nottingham have the best set of three kits this season.
Okay. Yusuf, what do you think?
So I like that they changed the sponsor from Fun 88 to Sela. It fits so much better onto the kit compared to last season's one. I like the home one. I like the design of the away one, and like Tala mentioned, the black and white stripes on the collars and the cuffs. I think it works. And then the third one took inspiration from our third kit 2 years ago. It looks like a
Okay.
United kit, just needs a United legend. But in saying that, I think overall, as the three together, I think theirs is probably the best in the league. The home kit 7, away kit 8, and the third kit 9.
Okay. Cool. Thanks, guys. Next team is Liverpool. They fought their way into that Europa League, their first season in Europa League. They are going back to a interesting thing. Liverpool's kits with the red and the white. They are always standard. I'm looking here, going 6.5. They could have done a little bit more, but I don't know what more they can do. That away kit will grow on me. Slowly is growing on me. But I wouldn't wear it out on a date. It looks a little weird unless if like you are in the south of Johannesburg where all the Liverpool supporters are, and you're going to like Spur. But I no, look, it is a Nike shirt. Okay, I'll leave it with the 6. That third kit in the purple, they are going to be frustrated this season, so I'll leave them with that. But yeah, that's like a 5. Like I can see where they were trying to go, but I don't know if they got there. I wouldn't have minded if it was a darker purple and they stuck with it, similar to like Spurs last year. But yeah. So Tipple, what's your number here?
Yo. We're going to start with another set of PJs on the right. But at least I would wear these pajamas to sleep. The Manchester United pajamas I wouldn't touch. But these ones, they're not too bad. But the problem is you're trying to be a football kid and you're looking so... This is the least intimidating lavender, soft shirt I've seen here. So I don't know what they're trying to achieve here. Maybe they are going for the drip market. So it depends on the context. I'll start on the right with if you're taking it out on a date, maybe a 7. But if you're going out to the field, no, 4. The green with the white, it looks like a screensaver. A little bit like no, not a screensaver. Sorry, not a screensaver. Sorry, that's the Chelsea kid. We'll get to that. This looks like a wallpaper. Just like you could literally wallpaper on your phone, or even like literal wallpaper that you could put on your wall, in your kitchen. So yeah, I'm not really sure how I feel about it as a kid. So let's say 6. And then the Liverpool home kit, it looks pretty simple. I like the simplicity. The bold lines on the outside sort of contrast with the fine lines on the inside. So it's all right. It's all right. Feels sort of plain. Don't like that chest seam. So I'll give this a 6 as well. Yeah. Nah.
Yusuf, I know you're not a big Liverpool fan, so I'm gonna ask you to just give us
Besides
your
that,
numbers.
they look terrible. The home kit is just last year's with the white collar and cuff, so that one is a 5 for me. The away one is inspired by the mid '90s Adidas ones. It's okay, a 6, and the last one is absolutely terrible. I'll give it a 4.
Tala, Liverpool's
Yeah,
getting
this is the.
scathing commentary here.
Oh, it's not going to stop. This is last season's Henderson, Miller, and Fabinho. Like they're just so below average. Yeah,
Oh,
I do. To be fair to the away kit, I like the concept. I just think they kind of missed. So that's the more redeemable one. Like Tsepo said, you can kind of get away with that in a date. The other two you can throw away. Liverpool fans, save your money for this season.
save your money for the season. You heard it here first. Date night drip. And yeah, if you have a Liverpool man in your house that supports Liverpool, maybe buy him that purple one, if in case he needs pajamas. Because I know men don't buy pajamas. I'm gonna go to Tottenham last. I want to go to Chelsea first to give Tipo a chance. Tips. Chelsea haven't
Yo,
released an away kit, but this what looks like an away kit. But I like the home kit. I don't know why. I'm giving it like a 7, 7.5, depending on who the logo will be eventually. The away kit, I don't know what you guys are thinking. It's just that's like a 4. But because I'm playing a team that wears blue. I'm gonna be rocking up in this. No, guys. But Tip, what do you think? How are you feeling?
yo. As a Chelsea fan, I'm not going to lie to you. I am dying inside. Oh man, it feels like such a good season to be a Chelsea fan. But then you look at the shirt. It's this the colors on the badge. I don't know, man. I really like the colors of the badge. I felt like that we could have kept simple. It doesn't really align with anything but the Nike tick. Then you have these weird Nike shapes that are all over shirts. And then they have whites at the armpits. Guys, I don't know about you, but me, when I run, I sweat. And when I sweat, it doesn't look good. But why are you going to put whites at the armpits? It's the least gratifying place to put whites. So I'm just like, you guys are trying to do me dirty. And then you look at this screensaver of a kit. Literally, it looks like it's tiled these screensavers from 2000 and from Windows 98, bro, where the screen moves and stuff. What's going on? Looks like I'm at a rave, man. But yeah, at least the lines line up. So I'll say that.
So
And
what
it
are your
does.
numbers?
Okay, for home 6, for away 6.5.
Oh, okay. So Chelsea could be causing problems for us. Yusuf, they don't have a logo, but yeah.
So I gave
What do you?
Chelsea last season's Chelsea's kit a 3. I went back and watched it. So I think this year I'm going to have to stick with it. That home kit is terrible. The white under the arms, I agree. I don't know what's going on
But
there.
it's
And
a
then
replica of the 1997 kit. It had white
yeah,
under the
where's the
arm.
collar? The 97 one, the collar
Had a
defined
collar.
it. Yeah, so it's a no from me. I'm going to give it a 4, one up from last year just because they don't have a sponsor. And
And the way kit.
then that screensaver, probably a 5. I don't hate it, but I don't like it either.
Tala, does this mean Chelsea's back? Like they had a blip and now they're coming to take everyone's marbles?
Yeah, look, yeah, I think it's all been said. It's the white, yeah, like the white, under the on the sides and at the back for the Chelsea thing that kind of ruins this idea. So yeah, I think that's also a 4 or 5. It's only nice because it doesn't have a sponsor. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about that. Not technically an away kit if it's almost the same color as your home kit, but we'll see what actually comes out. But yeah, that home kit, yeah, I wish it was just full blue. They should have just gone back to that kit.
Okay. Yeah. Look, white works for me, like as an away kit, if you're wearing blue. It's it doesn't break anything. Okay, or even yellow. Yellow would have been nice to pair with that blue. Okay, Spursy. Tottenham with white. They never go wrong, but the pattern, uh, yeah. Look, I think they messed it up with the pattern, but Spursy. I think last year probably gave it a 5. I think it's now down to like 4.5 because they just messed up the white. That away kit's not bad actually. It's not a Tottenham-esque away kit, but I'm like, I can see them. So I'd give that a 7. Teps, what do you think?
Yeah, once again, lighter under the armpits. Nike does it again. Doesn't make sense to me, but at least it's a dark kit. So
And it has a
I'll
collar.
get, and it has a collar. And it has a collar. It does look like it could be a nice golf looking shirt. So yes, I'll give that one 7, a nice 7. And on the left, I actually like the patterns. It looks like a BBC News intro, doot, 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 doot. So I dig that. And I'll give that also a 7. A 7.
Tyler, what do you think?
Oh my goodness. No. Look, Tottenham is really obsessed with, these white sheets. Yeah, like it's admirable because they always just go with these mid shirts, and this is why there's not many Tottenham fans outside of North London, honestly. So yeah, that's a 5, I guess. That Ackerman's looking golf shirt over there in the away kit, yeah, that's for me a 4.
Not
Like,
Ackerman's.
no, it's only got a collar. That's the only thing that makes it maybe look nice. It's a 4, straight 4. This is the poverty Tottenham fans can look forward to now that Harry Kane is leave or has left.
And
Nike even knew.
they were like, "Look, Kane's gone. It's done." Yusuf, this is the post Kane era. Dean was hoping for a good recommendation. Except I know you have to go, so thank you for joining. But Yusuf, what do you think?
So the home kit, I think it's difficult to do a Spurs home kit with much more. They've tried to put in some patterns, and I think it's okay. So I agree with Tsepo, 7 on that one. I really, really like the away kit. I like the collar and the badges. Just work on this one where it doesn't work on the Chelsea one. And then they put on the collar in addition to that. And they didn't have weird white sleeve or collars on the cuffs on the sleeves. So I quite like it. I think an 8.
Okay. Look, Dean, we tried. We did try. We did try to give Spurs something. Yeah, so that's the top 7. So now we just move into a couple of notables, and so we're just gonna run through some kits that I thought were worthy for discussion. I know, Tyler, you noted Nottingham Forest's 3 sets of kit. I only picked one of them, so but yeah. So the first set of notables is the Brentford third kit. I think it's different, and I like dark kits, and I think dark kits work in this environment. And then the Aston Villa kit. So if Spurs wanted a white kit with a bit of design, give us a design that actually means something. Don't just give us random lines and whatever it is. But this Aston Villa one actually, with the design looks pretty cool. Castori did something nice here. And then the West Ham away kit. The only thing that's messing this kit up is that Betway logo needs to be in white. But you can get it without the logo, which I think is great, and I like the cuff and the collar. But for a first set of notables, Tyler, what do you think of these 3? Okay, I think Tyler's connection is a little struggling this. I'll go to Yusuf there for that first one.
I like the Brentford one. I really, really like the design. I think it came out really cool. Something like that City third kit with the black and then the colors. It looks cool. The Aston Villa one, you're right. Maybe Spurs should learn. That's really well done as well. I like the print. The sponsor logos, etc., just come out perfectly with it. And then you can see the Clareton blue coming out with with the blue on the collar and then the claret on the logos. The West Ham one, if it didn't have a sponsor logo, or if the sponsor logo, couldn't they just put it in silver and then it would look amazing?
Yes.
I really like all three.
Okay. Tyler,
Mhm.
you seem to be back. So
Yeah,
what do you think?
I hope so. Yeah, the the West Ham have tricked me, or they tricked me last season with this the playing kit that they did. They had that black kit last season. I thought it was great. Then when you see it on the players, you just like, oh, this looks a little bit like it looks like Betway made shirts for like a promo that they're running, and they gave it to some guys. And I think this one is is a little bit of an improvement on that because, as Yusuf mentioned, with the collar, the cuffs, and the collar as well. So yeah, I don't think I like it as much. You know what, Brentford, you shot for the stars. I think you might have nailed this. I think this is actually a very nice elite kit in terms of wearing it out in public. I mean, it's
Mm.
you look like a casino for sure. You definitely look like you've had you owe Hollywood Bets money, but I think it looks really good. So I think that's an 8.5. And the Villa kit, I think they just about got it as well, as Yusuf mentioned. So that's I think, yeah, Brentford 8.5, Villa 8, West Ham 6.5.
Okay. I thought you guys would be high on West Ham, but I get it. Both Brentford and West Ham are paying their betting owners in third kits, it seems. Okay, the next set of notables is the Bournemouth away kit, third kit, sorry. The Burnley away kit. I like the yellow. I like that they've gone back to yellow. A lot of teams have been running away from yellow as an away kit. And then I think Crystal Palace with this away kit, just class. Just, a little stripe there. And last year's one looked like it was written on with crayon. And at least this one's like a proper little sachet or sash across the body. And I like the whole light blue working with the cinch. Yeah, I think it works there. And yeah, so these are my highly rated ones. Tala, do you agree?
Look, I mean, that was in the middle there with Burnley. That's a great Watford shirt. I'm not sure if Watford's going to sue there for theft of intellectual property, but in the middle makes it look like a Watford shirt. So, I mean, cool. It's just like they've completely just stolen Watford's whole flow. I like the Brentford kit. I think it's really nice. Again, that combination of colors, like Yusuf mentioned, even with the United kit a few seasons ago, but you can't go wrong with it. It's a nice mixture. It also makes that Brentford logo look like the Atalanta logo as well.
Yeah.
So it gives you a bit of that foreign vibe as well. So, look like a educated football person wearing that. And then, I think you're right with the Palace one. I mean, it is still a little bit on the safe side, but they did what they did well. So I would say the pick of this bunch is the Bournemouth one. That would probably get like an 8, let's say 8.5. The others, I mean, you can't, in university, we had to submit things through Turnitin. So Burnley's one would have to
The
fail,
plagiarism
unfortunately, because there's 100% plagiarism over here.
Yusuf, what do you think? Do you think Burnley were plagiarizing Watford here?
So when I first saw that kit, I thought it was a Watford kit also. I think they have the same sponsor. They have W88 as well.
They do, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not a fan of that at all. So it's a 5. The Bournemouth one, I really like it, but I can't wait for 2025 when betting sponsors are banned in the Premier League and those go away. I like the colors. It works really well, and I like the painted stripe on it. It looks cool, different. And like you said, the Crystal Palace one looks quite solid. It's a bit underwhelming, but the colors work, everything works. So solid 7.
Okay. And then there's teams that went with weird color. Okay, they were not necessarily weird colors, but they went risque. as you would call them. So here's the ones that did go risque. When I saw that Fulham one, I was like, oh my word, that's just dirty, dirty pink. And I think they nailed it. I really think they nailed it. They just, they look like lollipops on the field, but that's fine. Because initially I was like, maybe go for a lighter shade, but I was like, actually no, just go all in, just go into that dirty pink. Everton went with a little bit of orange, and I don't know how they feel about wearing orange in Merseyside, but that's another one. And then this Nottingham Forest one is interesting because I'm not a fan of that Nottingham Forest away kit. I think it looks okay, but I'm not a fan. But this one, I'm like, I don't know where you guys were going with this. But Tyler, you said Nottingham Forest was had the best 3 sets of 3 kits. So I know their home kit was just classic and I like it, but that away and this one is just it's like Adidas. Someone at Adidas was like, "Oh, we still need to make a kit for Nottingham Forest." Here's the thing, and this is one of those situations.
No, I love the patterns. I think they really did well here, and they did something that's coherent. That's not a I think it was actually well done there, and they chose the right colors for it. I think it's something that you can wear out as well, obviously with the dark, and then the orange pops out there as well. And obviously even with the Adidas logo and the Nottingham Forest logos, they aren't offensive. They aren't really trying to be the star of the show. So I really think this is probably one of the best kits of the season. I think it's something that you can, a night, you can wear this in a night out. You can go to these night markets that they have, a good old First Thursdays. You can be sorted with that kit. So that's a 9 out of 10. The Everton kit, I actually like what they did here. Something different. I mean, look, the sponsors logo is offensive, but it's something different, and I think they did it well. I think it's good if you're going to do the whole crazy patterns that aren't really matching, to segment it like that with the vertical stripes. I think they did actually really well. So I like it. I think, like you said, maybe the shade of the orange could have been either a bit lighter or just at least this not as striking. But I think it's an A for effort for that. Look, the Barbie Fulham crossover here, I genuinely thought when I saw it, I was like, oh, flip, Bobby really has even got to the Premier League as well. But this is apparently what they're going to be wearing this season. I mean, if you're going to be pink, cool, but do something else with that. So it's just pink. So it won't get high marks for that as well, because you're just a shocking pink. I mean, if you add maybe a little bit more detail, I guess the black makes it a bit nicer, but it's just shocking pink. That's all they've done here.
The shock factor. Yusuf, is there a shock factor here when you look at these 3 kits?
So what happened with that Fulham kit was the designer was sitting in the meeting and he had to present his new kits for the season, and he just took his pink highlighter and colored in the home kit and made it pink. It looks like, there was some friends at university that just overused their pink highlighters and highlighted every word on the page. That's how that kit looks to me.
Don't lie, Yusuf. That was you. Really. Admit it.
So it's a 4 from me for that Barbie pink kit. The Everton one, I really like the design. I actually like this orange, and I think it looks cool. I just don't like that monstrosity of a sponsor that's on it. So I think it's cool, a 7. And then I really, really like this Forest kit. And
serious?
I like it. There's only so much you can do with stripes, and they've managed to build stripes into this with the design, and I think it's really cool. If Juventus got this as an away kit, everyone would have loved it and went crazy for it.
If it was like navy blue and yellow with that little pattern, then okay, you may have a point. Okay, cool, guys. That brings us to the end of Day by Drip. Now everyone knows. Tala, hope you're okay. Hope everyone knows that what the teams are going to be wearing, what everyone is going to be looking like. I'm gonna go to Yusuf and ask him to just give us a little bit of Obviously, most of these kits will be available on Classic Shirts today. How do people go and purchase stuff, Yusuf? Do they go to the website? Like,
So
what
you
should we do?
go on to classicshirts.co.za and you click on current season, and then you'll find all of these wonderful kits there. I think we have 99% of the Premier League jerseys now listed. I know all the home kits are listed. I checked with the guys yesterday to make sure that all of the Premier League home kits are listed. And you drop in the Cheap Seats 99 code, and then you get the discount on your purchase.
Yep. And yeah, we and the future fans and people are going to be using the code. Thank you for that. And yeah, everyone just Tala, where can everyone find you? If you're not muted.
I am indeed. They can find me on Twitter at Talams277. I talk rubbish about everything pretty much, and you can follow me. I'm sure with the Rugby World Cup coming, I'll be mostly focusing on that, and hopefully when I return in November, Arsenal still in a Premier League race by then. And yeah, Rugby Bits is where it's my house there. We have a podcast that we have every week. We just did one where we rated the 50 best players in the world right now. So yeah, that I'm sure everyone is going to agree with that. And yeah, we're going to have a lot of content for the Rugby World Cup coming up as well.
Okay. I lost a little bit of the back end, but we got Rugby Bits. We got your Twitter handle. But yeah, guys, remember, just please do follow us. Follow Classic Shirts today. Follow us on YouTube. Like and subscribe at the One World Sports Radio YouTube channel. Outside of that, till next week when we talk about Harry Kane and Caicedo, and if Chelsea are going to create an LFC of Lavia, Fernandez, and Caicedo. Till next week, it's goodbye and le sale cacajizo.